Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about the Leatherman AX. This is Leatherman's new tool designed with pliers and an axe and a hammer. Not really. I'm actually going to talk to you about the Leatherman Surge and how it stacks up against my previous multi-tool, the one I carried for 4 years, used it every day, and that is the Gerber Multi-plier 600. You can see opening mechanism has kind of come apart on me. I have one button remaining. The retaining clip is still there, so they function. They're just slightly handicapped, not by much. They still flick open, but yeah. Carried those for 4 years, used them every single day, pretty much. Most of the time, what I needed most were the pliers. Needed these tools occasionally, every now and then. But most of the time the pliers are what I needed, and that's what made it so cool to be able to just pull it out of your pocket, snap them open, and you're ready to go. So after they started to get some wear and tear, for instance the cutters, you can see there's a gap there. They're just all nicked up. They still cut, remarkably. Have one of these nails here. Stick that in there. And you can see the flex on the head. See if I can. They still cut, somehow. But as they started to get some wear and tear on them, for instance, the knife has just been abused, and I had somebody resharpen it for me. I'm a dog groomer, and there is a person that there are various companies and businesses out there that they sharpen your clipper blades and your grooming scissors, and I wanted to see what they could do with the blade on the Gerber, and he brought it back to me and was like, yeah, I went ahead and did it for free, but be careful, it's sharp. And it just, to me, I don't know what he used. It looked like he used a rock, but I'm glad he was so generous to do it for free. Anyway, since then, if I needed to sharpen a blade on anything, I would only do it myself. I couldn't be bothered. I didn't have the time to do it then, and I was kind of just curious. But wear and tear happened. Kind of got curious about other multi-tools out there, and that's when I did a lot of research, watched a lot of reviews, swore by Gerber, swore up and down by Gerber. They could do no wrong. I thought Leatherman was overrated. I thought they were too expensive. I actually went to REI and was looking at the Leatherman tools, and I picked up the Surge and started messing with it, and these scissors, I couldn't get them to like lock into place, and they wouldn't spring, and I was like, what's going on here? I was like, I don't know what it is, but something about the way it's screwed together, or something has loosened. This is crap. I don't want it. It's too expensive. But then I kept looking at reviews, and I I was near the REI store again, and I went in and I gave them a second chance, and I looked at them, and I noticed that, you know, I was doing it wrong. They actually work very well, but it wasn't until after I got the tool that I realized how wrong I was. Let's open up some of the tools in the Gerber. You got your can opener, Phillips head, lanyard loop that takes up a tool slot, and you have your serrated blade. Other side, file. Got your regular knife blade, and 1, 2, 3 flathead screwdrivers. Okay. First thing I notice about the drivers on this tool, they're all short. Really a problem. I needed longer, especially the Phillips head. I think this Phillips head is just a sad excuse for a screwdriver. I mean, I don't know why it had to be that short and stubby, but this is pretty much, you know, I don't know what they were thinking, but anyway, enter the Leatherman Surge. I'll cover the tools on the outside in just a second. Let's look at the Phillips head on this. Okay. Well, I was just dissing on how short the Phillips head was on this, and this is even weirder, just as stubby. And that's true. But you can buy a bit kit. Bit kit has a plethora of bits that slide in here. Torx, Allen, Phillips, they're all in there. You can change them out. But that doesn't help the fact that this is so short and stubby. So there's an extension that goes in there. Brings it out to about here. Gives you much longer reach. You can use these in that extension, or it's made to fit your standard bits. But I didn't want to buy that, so I've made a couple. I took a standard extender, actually made 2 of them, and I ground this down on each side to where it was 1/8 of an inch, and you can see that these fit in there perfectly. Gives you a longer reach. Let's say you wanted to do this. Say you wanted to put that in there. You can. I love that functionality. That's amazing. Let's look at the other one. Have a lanyard hole or a carabiner clip in both of these. I have the Night Eyes carabiner keychain, and these fit perfectly in this hole that I drilled, so I can carry this on my keys. For my workflow, for what I need it for, I don't need something like this often, but when you do, you need it to work, and there's no other options for this. You just flip it out and you're like, oh well, I guess that doesn't work, so I gotta find something else. This, you're like, oh, I need some reach. Okay, well, let me pull this off my keys. Bam. Love that. Awesome design. Beside it, you have your can opener with wire stripper in the neck of it. Awesome can opener. Works great. You have your awl and 2 flatheads on this side. This sucker right here is super awesome for prying, wedging, anything of the sort. Love how heavy duty that looks. It's awesome. Remember that that lanyard loop over here that took up a tool slot. Yeah, they could have fit a saw or scissors in there, but no, they put a lanyard loop in there, taking up a tool spot. Where is it at on the Leatherman? Well, it's there if you need it, and it's not if you don't. As a matter of fact, I have to find it. There it is. Okay. So, I think this is exactly how a lanyard loop should be. There if you need it, not if you don't. So to get to it, you open up the saw, and it's down here recessed in the handle, and I'm going to see if I can use this to get it out. And this is one of those things, if you need it, you're going to keep it in there out of the way, and if you don't need it, if you need it, you're going to keep it out and keep something attached to it. And if you don't need it, then you can keep it in and you never know it's there. But you get something in here and it just pops up out of the handle like so. And now it's exposed right there. But there's not a lot of space to work with. It's kind of small. So you can push that back in. And you got other options too. You can see I have a belt clip here. What if you don't use a belt clip? A belt clip. Push in the lock. Slides right off. I keep it there just in case. You can see I use my sheath very much. It's on me every day. This is a year of wear and tear. I don't know how it hasn't completely fallen apart yet, but you know. So you take the belt clip off, and when you order the belt clip kit, it comes with another attachment, and I have it attached again to my Night Eyes keychain. This is the other lanyard loop. Snaps right into the same spot as the belt clip. And I love this because if you have something like the Gerber, or if you're using the belt clip that comes included, it's on there. It doesn't come off. It is attached. If you have a paracord wrapped around here, that always has to stay there. This gets in the way. It pokes into your hand. You have to turn it this way. You have to work around it. Or you can kind of unlock it and it sticks straight out. I hate that. This, if you can have this, you can have some kind of a lanyard, or you could have your paracord in here and you don't want it, pull it off, detaches. Quick release. Love that design. That is amazing. I don't use it, but I might one day. You never know. So I'll pop the belt clip back on here. See, snaps right into place, comes right off. Okay, so tools on the outside of the Leatherman. You got your regular blade, as indicated by the smooth edge versus the serrated edge. Serrated blade, plain blade. Very good blade. Love this knife. To me, it's almost the size of, I don't have a pocket knife, a normal one available, but I do have this Hawkbill, I think it's called, pocket knife, and yeah, almost the same size as a dedicated pocket knife there. Love that. On the Gerber, you have, I'll go ahead and open up both of these knives. Plain blade, plain blade. Big difference. Close that. Serrated blade. Big difference. No scissors on this. Scissors on the Surge, amazing. Love these scissors. Can't say enough good things about them. Cut through everything I need them to. Sorry about that. Paper towel. Right through it. And that's wood stain, by the way. Have some pleather. Right through it. And that's after a year of use. They have play in them now. And it doesn't affect the cutting quality at all. Remember I said I was a dog groomer. I was using this to cut ribbon that you wrap over your hand 3 times, squeeze it together, fold it in half, and what you would do is you would take your scissors and you would cut a V here, cutting off excess so that when you would put a rubber band in the middle and pull it out, it looks like a Christmas bow. So that's 6 layers of fabric, and these powered through it. So that flexing has accumulated to that much give, and they still cut. Maybe not as good as the day I took them out of the box, but not much worse. These are amazing scissors. Then you have one of my favorite tools on here. You have your T-shank replaceable or interchangeable bit adapter. This is a standard T-shank blade that would go into a jigsaw, and you can see this is not the Leatherman saw that it came with. I lost that. So instead of having to order a new one, I just go up to any Walmart, any hardware store, and you can buy a pack of T-shank jigsaw blades, which also gives you the ability to use different blade teeth. You can see I have a metal blade and a wood blade. You can see the wood blade is a lot thicker than the metal blade. It affects the fit of the blade a little bit, but there's also a spring right here that goes in and pushes up against the blade. You can see how it sits to the back, and if I push it out, it pushes that spring out with it. So that keeps it in place and minimizes the play. And it has a little bit of play back and forth like this. You can kind of hear it. A little bit from front to back, but it does not affect the cutting ability of the blade. And then the file, this came with it. The file and the wood blade are almost the same thickness, if not the same thickness. Love the file, love this diamond edge, works really good. But I keep the saw in here, and I can't remember if the Gerber had a saw or not. No, it does not. But if it did, let's assume that it would be similar length to the file. Okay, so you can see the file with the surge is almost the exact same length as the file on the Gerber, and it's interchangeable. Same thing with the saw. Okay, I actually cut this so that it would fit. It was longer and it extended past the handle just a little bit, so I snapped it off with vice grips. So excellent design at almost no compromise, in my opinion. Absolutely love that design. And then finally, I saved the pliers for last. I already talked about the cutting ability on this, the Gerber Multi-plier 600. I believe this is wire crimpers down here. No other cutting down here. Your cutters are here, and that's pretty much it. On the Leatherman, you have replaceable 154 cm wire cutters, and they are amazing. You can have you got your wire, let me get a pointer. You got your hard wire cutters down here, and then you have your standard wire cutters up here. But also you have your stranded wire cutters down here, and as well as your wire crimper underneath it. So you saw the flex. I'll do it again with the Gerber. You can see the flex going on in the head, and as a matter of fact, it's still offset. So I can pull this out of here back to normal, and that's, I can actually see if I can kind of squeeze those out of alignment. With the Leatherman, I'll take the same nail, put it right down there. I'll try to focus this as best as I can. No offset, no bending, no coming out of alignment. You can, yeah, you can push them out a little bit there, but not a problem. Very robust. If you don't, this isn't going to particularly damage your wire cutters after, you know, just a couple times. But let's say you wanted to preserve these as much as possible. You can use the stranded wire cutters right here. Cut just as well. Obviously non-replaceable, but the design of this mechanism almost looks like they intended it to be replaceable. It comes apart, so that's how I lost this. I was pulling outward after I got my surge just to test, you know, what the fail point was. And you can see, you can just rip them apart. Now they're gone, they're broken. I have to go find those pieces wherever they may be. But you can use pliers or something similar to take these apart, and it takes a couple seconds. And as easy as they are to take apart, I really wish they would have made the plier head itself replaceable. I've seen reports of people breaking these, like the actual plier snaps off around here. Less common than the cutters being damaged though. If you can't replace the cutters, I really wish in this particular multi-tool that would have allowed you to replace the plier head. If you look at the Leatherman OHT, it has a similar design to this, but seemingly more robust. You're not going to have that problem with this. You can pull however hard you want to. Nothing's going to happen. You can throw this at a brick wall, and you're not going to have any damage apart from a few scratches or nicks. This is just an exceptional heavy-duty multi-tool. For you people who like your details out there, let's look at the mechanism. See this track? This track and rail system. Before I bought the Surge or looked at it, I thought it was just a standard, you know, opening tool. But if you look on the inside here, you can see this fork comes up, and there's the tip. There's the start of the track, and it's the same on both sides. So that's what makes them lock into place. So if I unlock this other side, unlocked first, you can see that fork close and open. Really think that's pretty cool. But also, there's another feature. See this? If I open this a little bit, see that pin in there? Okay, that's part of that fork on the inside. So let me see if I can get this on camera. When you open up your surge and it starts to lock into place, watch that pin. See it rising up into the thumb hole? This is so that when you're gripping your tool, this cannot open. Same thing for the serrated blade. Stops it from opening. Great safety feature. Does not apply to the scissors or the saw, but they're also harder to open. And arguably less dangerous if either of these were to deploy. So still can't open. Continue to fold it in there. Now it can open. So I like that that's just an added feature. They were like, hey, you know, we're gonna make this locking mechanism that follows a track and spreads open and then locks into place. Well, there's some spreading, there's some movement going on there. There's some spread. So why not make that follow through to this groove here and just keep these in? And it's a small detail, but it lets you can tell that someone cared. Really like that. That's great. On Leatherman's website, the Surge retails for $109, I believe. I got this on sale at REI for $75, and it was the best $75 I've ever spent. I would pay $109 for this, easy. I'm gonna do another video comparing this to the SOG Power Lock, because when it comes to one-handed deployment, I think SOG has hit a excellent design for one-handed deployment without compromising on the integrity of your opening mechanism. I'd really like to make a video comparing the Leatherman OHT to the Gerber Multi-plier and the SOG Power Lock, which I do not have before me. But I also plan on reviewing the Leatherman Crunch, and maybe possibly the Victorinox Swiss tool. I've heard a lot of good things about that, and think it has some interesting design functionality and some interesting tools. I think that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.